No.
Way, and we are live.
Yes, hello. My name's Johann,
My name is Oliver,
and today I would love to be able to just.
and this is Usable Live.
This is usable live, yes. Today I feel like we should take one step back
Yeah,
because we have been showing a lot of various contents of what you can do, use usable for, how to use usable.
fancy stuff,
Yeah,
very fancy stuff, and extremely fancy stuff.
exactly. And I think maybe people would love to know what usable is and how it works and how to do
The
very simple things.
The very basic ones.
Yeah, so this is why it's called 101. And
So we start from scratch.
I think so. We're starting from scratch and we're going to dive into workspaces, fragment types, and various other elements of what they are, what they mean, how to build them.
So I have a question. Why are we doing that? Apart from being helpful to people.
Yeah. I mean, just as us being so kind, it is also a question of we want to demonstrate how documentation can be generated from just having a conversation or showcasing something like this, which we would have to do anyway, but then having to get this information into a blog post or a documentation page or something similar.
So what we want to demonstrate afterwards is that we just take the transcript of this
Yeah,
and make it into documentation.
fill it into the
See how it works.
usable public workspace. So I think we should just dive right in so we don't overstay our welcome.
Yep. So
So would
what's
you
the-
like to maybe at the very first just mention what usable is?
Usable is shared memory for developers.
Yeah.
And other knowledge workers.
Exactly.
But it's shared memory.
Exactly. It's just
And-
purely it's shared memory, especially for your AIs.
Yeah.
But again, you can use it as well.
For AI human teams.
Yeah.
So it's great for AI, but it's all human readable, and
Yeah.
it's how humans and AI work together.
In harmony. So I think just to start out, I have created a completely brand new usable account.
It looks very empty.
Exactly. And this is what everyone will encounter when they open usable initially. Now we will be adding a getting started section, but for now this is just like a
This is early days, so
yeah,
clean slate.
exactly. And so right off the bat, the first thing we see is your workspace. So the question is, what is a workspace? And in simple terms, a workspace is just where you can store specific information.
Yep.
So say I have a company. For example, we have the Clarity company, which is
Yep.
the Clarity workspace, where everything that has to do with Clarity is stored in.
Yep.
We have the Orlando workspace, where everything related to Orlando, web design, web development, all these bells and whistles are
Yep.
in the Orlando workspace.
Yep. And you could imagine that if Clarity was to interact with some of their clients and they wanted to share some knowledge,
Yeah.
then Clarity would create another workspace.
Yeah.
For instance, Acme.
Exactly. So if you want to really hone in on everything to do with specifically Acme,
Yeah.
not to convolute everything, like mix it all together.
And one thing is for organization, but often it's just a question of permissions also. So if they want to invite Acme into the workspace, then it would make sense to separate it.
Yeah. And we have a bunch of examples internally as well, where Flowcore has one, and we have a public Flowcore one where anyone has access to it. It doesn't have any sensitive information that we need.
Mm-hmm.
And we have various customers that have dedicated workspaces, so they don't bleed over.
And we even have a separate one for sales and marketing. So
Yeah.
it's not part of like the technical workspace.
Yeah. And that also helps with that we have people on the team that aren't technical, and therefore they're not being constantly fed information that does not.
Yeah. But at the same time, the Flowcore technical workspace is also available to everyone else.
Yeah.
So that it is possible for people outside the technical fields to get knowledge. But basically, that's the way we organize stuff in workspaces.
So you can always try. So it says create your first workspace. So we'll go in here and we'll call it, what should we call it? I have so many different ones here. Let's call it 101.
Yep.
Just to name it something. Then you can come with a description. That's completely up to you. quick one-on-one usable live workspace.
Yep.
And here lies the idea that is it private or is it public? Now, private is, again, you have to invite people into your workspace so they can operate and work within your knowledge base. And if you make it public, then anyone who has a usable account can subscribe to your workspace and then start using the information that's in there. For example, Orlando, which is just a public one.
Yeah, and usable public is also a public workspace.
So we'll create this workspace.
And you made it public, so anyone can see it.
Yeah.
So
and it's just called 101.
So actually now, if you're unusable, you can just go and where do you subscribe?
To subscribe, you would go back to your workspaces, so you see all the workspaces again. And we have the one that you see right there. And then you go up to the Discover Public button. If you press that one.
So if I press that one right now, I should be able to see it.
Yes. And here you see a bunch of them. There's Usable Public, Orlando. We have one called Suno, Flowcore Public. There's a bunch of them.
You have one subscription. You're one subscriber.
I'm not sure you can actually see it in here, but that's something that we might add as well, just so you can see
that's
how popular it is.
I'll add that as a feature request.
Oh, look at this. Oh, we have a viewer as well. My Cat Meow. That's quite a name. Nice.
Very good. Welcome.
And now, I think some people might get a bit overwhelmed when they pop into here, into the workspace itself. Because now you suddenly are introduced to something called memory fragments. And you just see a bunch of boxes. One says knowledge, recipe, solution, template. And the question is, what is this? What are these memory fragments? Now, I'd say that the basic way you can see it is that a fragment, or it's just a blob of information, like a markdown file, if you know what markdown is, it's just a file with information in it, you could say. So this is just stored information.
It's a bit like a text document.
Yeah.
So compare it to a Word document or a Google Docs document, but with the formatting visible.
Yeah, so we can try and demonstrate it by, there's a button at the top that says Create Fragment, so we'll just press that one.
So while you're doing that, I have a feature request to usable. In public workspaces, you should be able to see how many subscribers there are. That was what I wrote.
Okay.
So we'll see if that comes in, but never mind. You can carry on.
So we should create a memory fragment, and you can either import it from a PDF or you can just create it from scratch. So we'll just do it from scratch. And here you have to select the fragment type. We'll touch on what fragment types are right after this. So I'll just pick knowledge.
That's the most generic one.
Yeah, and I can come with the title. So I'll just say dog breeds. And then I can come with a summary. Now the summary is what we use.
And actually, it's not a can. You must.
Yeah, you must have a summary, and you must have, we recommend that you have tags on them.
Yeah.
Now the reason you put these on is so that when you ask Usable for information, he can better figure out where to look for it.
But there is also a generate button there.
Yeah, there is an AI generate button, and we recommend you always use that one because 9 times out of 10, it's way better than what I could do myself.
So actually what you need to put in is the content.
Yeah.
So what?
So we can say, so just to demonstrate what markdown is, I'll just say dog breeds. That's with that little hashtag. You can again Google what markdown files are, but it's basically a simple way of writing what you could almost consider Word documents. So we'll say dog breeds, and we'll say, I don't know, corgi. I'll write 3. I don't even know how you spell corgi.
Yeah.
German Shepherd, Bird, and Bulldog. Sounds good. And then we can press the generate button, and it will generate a summary for this specific post or this fragment. And then we can generate tags. As you can see, animal breeds, canine, dog breeds, pet care. All this information is there to help the AI be able to better search through it. And then we just press create fragment, and there it is. So if I open the fragment, you see there's a header called dog breeds. That's because of how we structured wrote a hashtag before. But again, you can Google markdowns if you're interested. But That's it. That's a fragment. It's just a block of information, essentially.
Yep.
And from there, you might wonder, what is a knowledge fragment? What is a recipe fragment or a solution or template? And all it really is, it's just a bucket that you can kind of organize your fragments. And you can kind of help the AI look through the fragment types or the boxes by coming up with a good description for them. So for example, knowledge, he has a description called general information, documentation, and reference material. Look at that. It's actually spelled with an I. That's Flowcore on YouTube.
Oh no.
So what happens here is that...
But you can correct that.
Yeah,
if you like.
We can correct it. We can try. We can go into knowledge, pick the fragment, and then press the edit button at the top. And then go in here and... It's not with an E? All right, fine. And press save changes, and there you go. Now it's updated. So if we go back to here, what you can kind of imagine here, what I was talking about before, was that the fragment types are there to help the AI figure out where to store things.
Yeah.
What bucket to put it in, or what box.
Yeah.
And it also helps the AI kind of figure out, okay, when I add this to this box, is there a general way I should structure it? Is there a way to consider this information before I put it in? So that he gets additional context from that.
Yeah.
So if you solved an issue,
yeah,
maybe if you developed something and you ran into an issue and you managed to solve it, and then you wanted to document how you solved it, he would very likely put it in the solutions fragment.
And how it finds out is by looking at the description for that fragment type.
Yeah.
And as we probably will see, you can also add your own fragment types.
Yeah.
So these are the default ones, these 5.
And these 4 of them, except the instruction set, which is a special one, all the other ones are just boilerplate. We gave you some fragment types to work from.
And speaking of instruction set, that is very, very similar to what's been announced now from Claude Skills.
Yeah.
So I would say it can do all the same things. It's only missing the code part. But
yeah, okay, fair enough. But yeah, it's essentially...
So we were first on that one.
So remember to post that on Twitter. We were first. Hashtag usable first. So yeah, instruction sets are, like you said, that it's a way for before the AI even starts processing anything, he will always consider the instruction sets first. But again, you could change all the other fragments out if you wanted to. It's just a baseline that we give you so you have something to work with. And if you press settings within the workspace itself, you can scroll down. And here they are, fragment types. You can press add fragment type, and then you can just come up with something like one that we like to use is issues, where we say any bugs, feedback, questions, etc. Something like that, right? And then we can pick an icon. We can pick, I'm not sure which, we'll pick the bug one. And we can pick red because it's, I suppose, scary. And create fragment type. There you go. Now we created a fragment type. And if we go back to our workspace, you see it there. And again, there's nothing special about these fragment types. It's just another box that you can better organize your information.
Yes.
So if you were to connect to Usable and say, this user came with this bug or this issue, he would go in and see, okay, fragment type issues definitely has descriptions about issues, feedback, stuff like that. And then he would figure out to put it there.
It seems so innocent, but it is actually part of the magic with Usable.
Yeah.
These fragment types.
Because it really helps him also be able to navigate the information. Especially when you get lost
it's like
of it.
It's the fragment type and it's the tags that really help.
Yeah. And I think from there, it is more or less a question of how would I access this information? So now we have these fancy fragment types. We have the workspace. How do I use this information? And there are essentially 2 ways at the moment, which is that you can go back to your workspace. So you see all the workspaces and press the open chat button. this will open up the chat window that we have built into Usable, where you can just ask him, for example, what dog breeds do you know about? Say something like that. What will happen? And then he does a process of searching through Usable to figure out what fragments are there.
And this is just at the moment you can choose between different models.
Yeah, we have a bunch of them at the moment.
Yeah.
And currently he is using Claude 4.0 or 4.5. And we're hoping that this chat window will get some nice features soon. As you can see, it's still in version 0.80.
Yep.
So it's still very much in beta. And he's searching for a while. It might be
a bit long. Click reasoning.
Seems to be searching, finding an animation. Because it might be, I don't know, we can try a different model, see if that helps. Because, I mean, there was some issues today.
Yeah.
Which did cause Claude to get sporadic. So should we try a different one?
Yeah.
We'll just restart this window so we can get a new one. What should we pick? GPT-4.1?
Yeah.
Or this one? GPT-OS? Then we can ask him, tell me about the available dog breeds. Let's see if we find something there. So
maybe we should go back.
Yeah, you can search in the meantime, but that is one way.
I was using the chat just to create that feature request,
okay.
And was like, boom. So not sure why
he's stuck here. I don't know, but feel free to try it yourself. Maybe I'm just a special case here because this clearly works on yours.
Yeah.
But the other way to do it is that you go over to your account. So like your avatar up here in the corner, press the account button, and then there's this amazing button called API tokens.
You're J2.
J2, yeah. This is our second account, just for testing purposes. And where you use personal access tokens, where you basically get a key back, and then you can use it externally instead of inside Usable.
Yep.
And the reason I want to show this is mostly just because I can demonstrate how you communicate with a workspace.
Yeah.
So I press the create token button.
Or communicate with all the fragments.
Yeah.
Because you can do it across workspaces as well.
Yeah, exactly. And we tend to do that because we have very specialized workspaces. For example, social media, Usable Live, Usable Public. And so I can just call this one hello. Doesn't really matter. And here you pick what workspaces you're interested in. So I only have the one, but it's the Workspace 101. So actually what we should do before we do that is go back to our Workspaces, press the Discover Public button, and then just subscribe to Usable Public.
Yep.
And we can just subscribe to Orlando as well. And as I subscribe, you can see they also pop up here with the little subscribe text on them. Now, if we go back to our account, press API tokens, press the create token button, and just call it this is a test. The token name is really not important.
Yeah. And
now you can see I can pick what workspaces I'm interested in and what I should be able to do with this key, which is I can create, read, create, and update fragments.
Yeah.
As well as update the permissions and details about the workspace. But the funny thing is that if I pick Usable Public or Orlando, I mean, I can press it, but it's not going to work. We should probably just set a disable on that.
So that's an issue for us to put in.
Yeah. So I'm only allowed to read from public subscribed workspaces.
Yeah.
The only way I can actually write to them is that I was either added to a workspace or if I created one myself.
Yep.
And then again, you can pick expiration dates here.
And importantly, you define these permissions now, but you can always go back in and amend it.
Yeah.
And change the permissions.
Yeah. So if I press this create token button, it will show you the token. And again, when you close this window, the token's gone. So you really need to copy this and remember to store it somewhere while you where you're going to use it. So when I close this, it's gone. And now, if I, like you said, I wanted to say, this project really does not need to have access to Orlando. Then I can press the 3 little dots, edit permissions, and then go down here and press Orlando. Take it off.
And update.
Yeah, update token. And there you go. Now it's updated. And it is instant, I'd say.
Yeah.
So you'd feel it immediately. And yeah, I think that is basically it. We have various...
and we use these tokens in numerous of our live sessions, so we're not going to do that now.
No, like pulling it, like connecting it up to running locally on Cursor and stuff. We have several tutorials on that.
Yep. Do we have more on the list of things that we would like to cover? We have the workspaces, fragments, tokens.
We have the webhooks. Yeah, we could touch on webhooks.
Yeah.
So again, you open the workspace that you're interested in. Now, if you don't know what webhooks are, it's just a way of triggering when something happens in usable. You can send this information to an external API, website, bot, whatever it is. And we have a dedicated video for that if you're interested.
Yep.
So you open your workspace, press the settings button, scroll down until you see something called webhooks.
There it is.
From there, you press new webhook and then give it a name. Hello world. Again, doesn't matter. This is just so you know what it's for. And then you put the webhook URL in there.
Yep.
And from there, you can subscribe to when a fragment is created, when it's updated or deleted.
Yep.
And we'll be adding way more.
And later. The target URL you get from the destination. So
yeah,
we had an example with webhook.site.
Yeah.
There you can test it.
Yeah, webhook.site. Yeah, that's the one we used. And you can also provide, if you know what authentication headers are, but it's just to make sure that when you send this information over to your destination of choice, you can verify that, yes, it is actually from the correct person, rather than just coming from anyone and blindly trusting it.
Yep.
And I think that's about it. I mean, you can go back in.
We have covered usable chat.
Yeah. And then I suppose the really interesting one is the one we might cover after the session.
Yep.
Which is that we will actually take this video. So as you might have noticed, I did put a lot of emphasis on what button I pressed and what order and everything. And that is because now, when this session ends, we're going to take the transcript from this exact video and dump it all into usable public.
Yep.
And if you don't know, from last session, we demonstrated how we populated usable public with, for example, what is a fragment type, where you could go in here and read about what they are.
Yep.
And I think with this specific video, we can enrich much more of the finer details of what buttons to press.
We'll probably also take the transcript and say, okay, we've done this in 25 minutes. How can we do this in 5 minutes or 10 minutes?
Yeah, because we really need that one video that just demonstrates this is usable.
Yes.
So we'll definitely try and generate a script.
Yeah.
And then you might be the one that reads it in.
Someone will.
Yeah, we'll hire someone professional like, what's his name? Samuel Jackson or something. That's fine. Ian McKellen. That's fine. Fantastic. I think that's about it. So I would definitely say stay tuned to Usable Public Fragment to see all the information popping in there soon enough. And join our Discord if you have any questions. And from our previous sessions, we demonstrated how when you write an issue on Discord, it will automatically get sent into our fragment type called issues within Flowcore.
Fantastic.
Flowcore Workspace, yeah.
And until next time, go do something usable.